Well, we have some pretty big news we want to tell everybody. Raven?
Come on, I said you.
You want me to do the whole thing? Okay.
Just when fans thought Bear and Raven Brown had finally found peace after Alaskan bush people ended, everything fell apart. What really caused their sudden breakup, and why it happened right after the camera stopped rolling, will shock you. In a turn of events that has left Alaskan bush people fans stunned, Bear Brown and Raven Adams have officially called it quits again. After years of ups and downs, reconciliations, and emotional Instagram posts, the couple's relationship has reached another heartbreaking end. But this time, it feels different. This breakup comes not only after the couple's tumultuous journey through fame and family, but also in the shadow of Alaskan bush people's uncertain future following its apparent cancellation. So, what really went wrong between Bear and Raven, and why did their relationship collapse just as the cameras stopped rolling? A love story born in the wild. Bear Brown, known for his high-energy personality and adventurous spirit, was one of the most memorable members of Discovery Channel's Alaskan bush people. His wild enthusiasm and self-proclaimed king of extreme persona made him a fan favorite. Raven Adams entered Bear's life in 2018 when the two met at Bear's brother Noah's wedding. Their chemistry was instant. Raven, a model and photographer with a quiet yet confident demeanor, seemed to balance out Bear's chaotic energy. Fans were charmed by the contrast, the wild man from the bush and the calm, grounded woman who stole his heart. Within months, their whirlwind romance went public. In 2019, they got engaged, and soon after, they announced that Raven was pregnant with their first child. For fans of the show, it seemed like a fairy tale ending, until cracks began to show. A relationship defined by breakups and makeups. Bear and Raven's relationship has been anything but smooth. Just weeks after their engagement, the couple split, citing stress and differences. But the breakup didn't last long. When Raven revealed she was expecting Bear's child, the two decided to try again, determined to make their relationship work for the sake of their growing family. Still, the road remained rocky. During Raven's pregnancy, the two spent significant time apart, and their social media posts hinted at tension behind the scenes. Bear was accused of being controlling, while Raven faced harsh criticism from some fans for her decision to move away from the wilderness lifestyle. Their son River was born in March 2020, but even his arrival didn't fix things right away. The couple went through custody battles, restraining orders, and multiple breakups before reconciling again in 2021. It was a relationship that fans watched unfold in real time, often through tearful Instagram posts and cryptic updates. And while many hoped the two would eventually find stability, others feared they were trapped in a toxic cycle. Marriage, parenthood, and the dream of a normal life. In January 2022, Bear and Raven finally tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in Washington state. At the time, both spoke publicly about wanting to focus on their family and build a better future together. "Raven has made me the happiest man alive," Bear said at the time. "We've been through so much, but love always finds a way." Their second child, Cove, was born in January 2023, a moment that seemed to bring the couple even closer. Social media was filled with photos of the new baby, and both Bear and Raven shared optimistic messages about healing, faith, and new beginnings. But even as things looked picture-perfect on the outside, trouble was brewing beneath the surface. The end of Alaskan bush people and the strain of life after reality TV. When Alaskan bush people quietly wrapped its final season, it marked the end of an era for the Brown family. The show had documented nearly a decade of their lives, from their bush homestead in Alaska to their move to Washington after the tragic death of family patriarch Billy Brown. For Bear, who had spent most of his adult life on television, the sudden lack of cameras created an emotional void. Friends close to the couple reportedly said that Bear struggled with the transition. Without filming schedules or production teams, he found himself lost. Bear's identity was so tied to the show, one insider claimed. When it ended, he didn't really know what to do next. It was like losing a part of himself. Raven, on the other hand, wanted to focus on stability and privacy. She had long spoken about the pressures of reality TV and the online scrutiny that came with being part of the Brown family. She wanted a quieter life for their kids, the source added, but Bear still craved adventure and attention. They just couldn't find common ground. Clues fans didn't miss. By mid-2024, fans began noticing subtle hints that all was not well between the couple. Raiven stopped posting photos of Bear on social media, and Bear, who usually active and expressive online, began sharing cryptic messages about staying strong and moving forward. In August, Raiven deleted several family photos and changed her bio to simply read, Mama of Two. Around the same time, Bear was spotted spending more time alone in the mountains, documenting his solo camping adventures. Then came the confirmation. Raiven officially announced their separation in a heartfelt Instagram post, writing, "Sometimes love isn't enough to fix everything. We've tried so hard, but for the sake of peace and happiness, we're going our separate ways." Bear followed up with his own message, expressing heartbreak, but emphasizing that his children would remain his top priority. "I'll always love Raiven. She gave me 2 amazing boys. But we've decided to go different directions. Family comes first, always." The real reason behind the split. While both parties have remained relatively respectful in public, insiders and close sources have shared more about what led to the final breakup. According to reports, differences in lifestyle, financial stress, and emotional exhaustion were at the heart of the separation. Raiven allegedly grew tired of Bear's impulsive behavior and desire to continue living off-grid, while she longed for stability, structure, and a sense of normalcy for their children. Raiven wanted to settle down, school, a community, routine. Bear wanted to live free, wild, and unpredictable, a family friend explained. They love each other deeply, but they were living 2 very different dreams. There were also rumors that Raiven had been struggling with the constant public attention and online criticism. Every argument, every decision, from how she parented to where she lived, became a topic of fan speculation. She never signed up for fame in the same way Bear did, the source continued. For her, it became too much. Bear, meanwhile, reportedly felt frustrated that Raiven wanted to step away from the public eye, fearing that distancing themselves from fans would cut off opportunities tied to the Brown family's legacy. Co-parenting and moving forward. Despite their separation, both Bear and Raiven have pledged to co-parent peacefully. Raiven currently resides in Texas with her children, while Bear continues to spend time between Alaska and Washington, where other members of the Brown family still live. Bear shared a photo of himself hiking, writing, "Every ending is just the start of something new. I'll always be there for my boys. That's my mission." Fans flooded the comments with messages of support, encouraging Bear to stay strong and praising Raiven for prioritizing her children's well-being. While neither has confirmed whether a reconciliation could ever happen again, most observers believe this split may be permanent. The emotional toll, combined with the realities of raising 2 young children and rebuilding their lives post-TV fame, may simply be too heavy to overcome. The Brown family reacts. The breakup has undoubtedly affected the wider Brown family, who have always had complicated relationships with one another. Although the Browns have not issued an official statement, several family members have subtly shown support online. Rain Brown, Bear's younger sister, shared an Instagram story shortly after the breakup was announced, writing, "Family means love through it all. No matter what happens, we stand together." Fans interpreted this as a nod to Bear's struggles and the emotional challenges the family continues to face following the loss of patriarch Billy Brown in 2021. Billy's death left a void that deeply impacted every member of the family. Bear, in particular, had often spoken about how much he missed his father's guidance. Many fans believe that the grief, combined with the pressures of fame, only intensified the strain on his marriage. Life after the cameras. What's next for Bear and Raiven? Now that Alaskan bush people appears to be over, both Bear and Raiven are carving out new paths. Bear has hinted at possible outdoor survival projects and social media ventures, teasing that he might start his own YouTube channel focused on bushcraft and wilderness living. Meanwhile, Raiven seems focused on family life and her photography business. She has shared glimpses of her life as a single mother, often emphasizing peace, healing, and gratitude. "Sometimes we have to let go of what we thought our life would be," she wrote in a recent post, "so we can make room for what's meant to come.
Her words suggest a woman ready to move forward, away from chaos and toward calm. Heartbreak and understanding. Reactions from fans have been mixed, but mostly supportive. Many longtime viewers expressed sadness over the breakup, saying they had rooted for Bear and Raiven since the beginning. "I really thought they'd make it this time. I just wanted them to finally be happy." Others praised Raiven for prioritizing her well-being and her children. "She's been through a lot of criticism and judgment. It's brave of her to walk away and start fresh." The general consensus among fans is one of compassion, both for Bear, who has openly battled emotional struggles, and for Raiven, who has fought to create a stable life for her kids. A bittersweet ending to a public love story. For years, Bear and Raiven's relationship symbolized both the magic and the heartbreak of reality TV romance. Their story was raw, messy, and painfully human, filled with hope, love, mistakes, and second chances. Now, as they go their separate ways, their journey stands as a reminder of how difficult it can be to maintain real relationships under the relentless spotlight of fame. Whether Bear finds solace back in the wilderness or Raiven continues building a peaceful life for her children, one thing is certain. Their story, with all its wild highs and heartbreaking lows, will forever be a part of Alaskan bush people. For fans who watch them fall in love on screen, their separation feels like the end of an era. But perhaps for Bear and Raiven, it's not an ending at all, just a new beginning in two very different directions.
The Brown family saga has captivated Alaskan bush people fans for over a decade, chronicling the highs and lows of life in the wilderness. But none of the drama has been as personal and heart-wrenching as the relationship between Bear Brown and Raiven Adams. Following their sudden breakup earlier this year, fans have been left wondering how Bear is coping and what his next steps are. After years of living life in the spotlight, Bear now faces the challenge of rebuilding a personal identity beyond the cameras, beyond the fame, and beyond the life he shared with Raiven. Sources close to the family have revealed that while the breakup was amicable in words, it has left Bear navigating a very different path, one marked by self-discovery, emotional recovery, and parenting two young children. Bear Brown has always been a figure defined by extremes. Known for his wild personality and adventurous lifestyle, he was thrust into fame as a young man, appearing on Alaskan bush people and quickly becoming one of the most recognizable members of the Brown family. But life after reality TV has proven to be anything but simple. Friends and insiders say that Bear's breakup with Raiven has been emotionally challenging, particularly because he has had to do it under the scrutiny of fans and media. While Raiven has taken steps to protect her privacy and focus on her children, Bear's social media posts and public appearances hint at a man grappling with loss, transition, and identity. He's really struggling to find himself outside of the show and outside of the relationship, a family friend said. Bear gave so much of his life to the cameras and to Raiven that now he's trying to figure out who he is on his own. Despite the personal pain, sources confirmed that Bear is focused on being an attentive and present father. River, the couple's eldest son, and Cove, their youngest, remain at the center of Bear's world. Insiders report that he spends significant time with them, engaging in outdoor activities, teaching survival skills, and maintaining a sense of normalcy for their lives. Bear wants his kids to feel safe and loved, the source said. Even though things didn't work out with Raiven, he's fully committed to being a dad. Social media has offered glimpses of this dedication. Bear has shared several posts showing him hiking with River and Cove, building cabins and fishing, moments that reflect both his love for the outdoors and his devotion to his children. Fans have responded positively, praising Bear's efforts to stay involved despite the breakup. For years, Bear's life was defined by the cameras and the fame that came with the show. After Alaskan bush people ended, Bear faced a difficult transition. No longer filming every day, he had to confront life without the structure, excitement, and validation the show had provided. Insiders say that Bear initially struggled with this shift. Without the cameras, he reportedly felt a loss of purpose and an increase in anxiety. Friends close to him have described moments of isolation, as Bear grappled with the emotional fallout of the breakup and the abrupt end of his public life. He's always been a doer, a man of action, a friend noted. When the camera stopped, he had to find other ways to challenge himself and feel fulfilled. To cope, Bear has immersed himself in outdoor projects. He has taken on carpentry, wilderness survival challenges, and even discussions of creating his own content focused on bushcraft and adventure, a way to stay connected to the outdoors while building a new identity separate from the Brown family's legacy. Breakups are difficult under any circumstances, but Bear and Raiven's separation was played out in the public eye, amplifying the emotional toll. Social media speculation, fan criticism, and paparazzi coverage have added layers of stress that the couple had to navigate. Every choice he makes, every post he shares, people have an opinion, an insider explained. It can be really draining, especially when you're already emotionally vulnerable. Bear himself has alluded to these struggles in cryptic social media messages. He has posted about perseverance, self-reflection, and the challenge of starting over. Many fans interpreted these posts as his way of processing heartbreak while signaling that he is focused on personal growth. The Brown family has always been tightly knit, despite internal conflicts and disagreements. Following the breakup, Bear has leaned heavily on his siblings and family for emotional support. Rain, Gabe, and Noah have reportedly been in close contact, offering guidance, friendship, and reassurance. Family is everything to Bear, the source said. Even when relationships end, the Browns always stick together, and that's what's helping him now.